Hello to any who are joining me. I almost had like a mini stream debacle because I couldn't figure out why it was not recording or streaming, and I didn't have one of my hard drives plugged in. But if you're tuning in, feel free to say hey, and then I'm just going to get into it in just a second. And we're going to do some like play with the gold play brushes, do some gold motif, and also use one of my favorite tips and tricks, which is using the Illustrator brushes and creating like an art brush if I create a motif like this, the wheat one. So yeah, just kind of this was kind of on my mind for a little while, and I had an idea. I don't know if this is like exactly what I envisioned, but the cool thing is that it looks quite like more complicated, but really we're just letting the what do you call it? The brushes do all the work, the gold play brushes, they're a lot of fun. So yeah, let me know if there's anything with them, if my volume is okay or my stream quality. And then I'm just gonna pop into it and we're gonna just have a little bit of fun today. So hopefully I'll catch some of the people that my regulars and all that. This week has been absolutely mental. I'm trying to do so much, fix my website, and do more like organized freebies and all that, and then I just got out the marble brushes, so it's been absolutely mental. Um, so yeah, I kind of had a little break for a few days without some new content. Mm. Anyway, we're just going to tuck into it. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I kind of envisaged this like a monogram like this, and I think I've done something. Um, I don't think I ever shared it, but I did something personally with kind of a wheat motif and in a monogram like years and years ago. But I thought it'd be fun to play with the gold play brushes and just kind of have that dimensionality and have a little fun with that. So the first thing that I did here, I've got the one that I created before. And of course you can just like use this as an idea, as a jumping off point, what have you. But the first thing that I did was I created these really basic, oh, I forgot to put my restream chat on. Hold on just one second. Just did some very basic sort of shapes for the little grains of the wheat, and also like strategically I wanted to make this as easy as possible. And so what I did was I created like basically two main layers, and that I will use those as a clipping mask. So um, I did the alternating because I know that I wanted to alternate those so that you kind of have a feeling of not everything being super homogeneous and all that. So I've got the black here, and then I've got the grays. And so I'm just going to do like treat those in two different ways and kind of have that rhythm going on in there. So, and having them all on one layer is so much better than making like a clipping mask for each little grain, because I'm going to need to do a clipping mask. So I'm just going to start with this one. What did I start with? Hold on one second. Not that one. Okay, I think I'll start with this, the dark grays here, or the lighter grays here. And so actually I had saved some of my brushes in my tool presets, and after I'm done with this, I'll have the demo file available for you guys, for the members. And also I saved pulled aside some of the brushes and stuff. So I think I used like, this is Creamy Brush 3 of the Gold Play collection. And actually, I'm just going to pop over here just to kind of show you. So this is a nice, gorgeous, we get a nice creaminess. And what's great about those brushes is that they show the direction. So you can really have a feeling of depth, dimensionality without having like a 3D or anything like that. And of course, if you want to know more about those brushes, and I have already a live stream where I go over them. And so if you don't have my brushes, you can make your own like this. I show you kind of how something, you know, like show you the behind the scenes of those kind of brushes. So what I'm going to do is I'll just zoom in here. I'll just a touch. And I'm going to sneeze in a second. Warning, trigger warning. I think I lost it. The worst. So I'm going to just use my clipping mask and just draw over there. And so draw over the little, what do you call it? Grains. And we get a nice, you know, kind of a direction and a feeling of that, you know, little bit of depth and stuff in there. So I just do that. Now these are Photoshop wet paint mixer brushes, and they have the wet settings applied. I have 50%, everything else is 100%. And when I'm doing those brushes, and I have like the brush smoothing up a little bit so it's nice and smooth. But with those brushes, I try, because I want to keep those beautiful strokes in there, so I try not to go over it too much, because if I keep going over that, as you can see there, it kind of smooths out and keeps blending. So I'm going to try to do as minimal brush strokes as possible. So, and not like overlapping my strokes too much. And so we're just going to do that. And we're already creating like a nice little rhythm. And like so. And I just try to kind of follow the thing. So that's quite cool. It gives us a nice effect. And then I'm doing an accent stroke, and I believe I'm gonna look here. Maybe it's dry decorative 10. So here's my gold play brushes, and um, a lot of you guys will probably be familiar with the gold play brushes, but it's just all the different they're dimensional Photoshop brushes, playing with the mixer brush settings. And this is just a really fun set because I played with like a lot of dry brushes, and you can really get a feeling of dimensionality and all of that. And so let's see which one I think I grabbed. Yeah, I think I grabbed for an accent dry decorative 10. But the thing is you can just do any accent you like. But I just, yeah, just drew it over there. And we're getting like this nice, I like how this one has kind of almost like a pave sort of effect on that brush. And of course, my brushes are preloaded, but I can go and change the color of the brush and the color of the metallic gold in this brush by resampling from my gold palette. Hey Rhoda, super happy to see you. Glad to catch you on. This was a total last minute stream. I literally just finished it. And then I was just like, okay, I'm jumping on, because I think I skipped my Friday stream. So I think it's been 1 week since I've streamed. So just to give you, here's that brush. And of course, what's cool about these brushes is when we're sampling from the mixer brushes, just by virtue of the mixer brush, every time that you, or like every direction that you brush it, it's going to have a different color or different effect based on like what's sampled in that mixer brush. So if I go left to right, it's going to be darker, you know, because of where I sampled. Left, you know, this way it's going to be lighter, and you can have a different effect going, you know, top to bottom. So because basically whatever's on that side of the sample is how it's going to look. And like, just for example, I've got this brush, you know, I'm going to reload this brush. I could sample from like the darker area of this gold. So I can option click in here. And then if I go and do this brush, let's say it's looking a lot richer, darker, but I can go over here and sample from like a much lighter area in my palette or in my image, and I can have it being really quite light. So it's really up to you, but these are kind of darker leaves, so I think I'm going to sample somewhere where I get a bit of light, and let's see how it goes. So that's cool. Or I could just use the whatever it was already it was already sampled to. And for, oh, I don't like that. For these brushes, I have them preloaded with what do you call it? Preloaded with some gold already loaded up. But of course, if you change the brush size, preloaded colors will drop out of the Photoshop brush. That's just how they work. So let's just do some nice little accents here. And I like it. So I'm going to put I can already feel my brush smoothing was not on, and I can feel the difference. So yeah, I'm going to put my brush smoothing up. And I'm just making an accent stroke along the top, and I think it's looking really cool. And what I really like is that when I'm doing this way, it's a lighter stroke, and then it's a darker stroke that way. So I really think that's cool, um, and looks really unique. So we're just going to continue doing that. And yeah, and if you're tuning in, feel free to let me know where you're watching from. I will love to know. Currently, I'm in, what did I do? Oh, you know what? Sometimes this is what I did, which was kind of fun, is sometimes I drew it along the top, and sometimes I drew it along the bottom. So that's kind of, or maybe like over here I did. So, you can just like spice it up a little bit. So here I drew it along the bottom of that. Here I drew along the top. So you could just have a little bit of fun. But I also kind of try not to like cover up any where I have like some really nice creamy strokes and stuff. But it does add like a nice sort of irregularity, I think, that looks good. And let's see here. Oh yeah, so we're good on here. So that was the main part of those sort of little, they are grains. So that was the main part of them. But the one thing that I just wanted to do is any time that there was some that I didn't have, like, I just wanted to put a little accent on the tips basically. So I grabbed from my gold play brush collection, you really won't be able to see much of the brush, but I just grabbed brush 35, I want to say. Yeah, here. And I just kind of put some sparkle on the tips because I thought it was pretty, and I didn't want them to have any of them to have like kind of tips that were not like maybe you had the end of the paint kind of showing. So just a little accent, whatever. It's not really like anything necessary. But of course, all of these are on a clipping mask layers. So one thing that I always say whenever I'm doing my clipping mask layers is that like I'll make my base layer, which is here, and then I'll make a top layer. And then what's nice is that anytime that you drop in a layer in between, it'll automatically be a clipping mask layer. But the cool thing is that, what was I going to say? Yeah, but it just also keeps down on the number of layers by like trying to alternate those and put them all in one layer, the alternating grains. Yeah, it's just like I like to try to keep it, as little layers as possible. So that's pretty it for that side. And I did add for that accent brush stroke, I did add just a touch of drop shadow, and just nothing major. So you can see here, but that just adds also a little bit extra dimensionality and depth. So I'm gonna save, let's see, I'm gonna save this as my like live demo, desktop, wait, let's here, demo. Okay, so then we're gonna go into the black ones. And so I'm gonna go here to my base layer, and I'm gonna have this starter file, the starter file that has the blank ones drawn in. I'll have that available for my members. So let's see here, we've got this, and yeah, so I've just got the base layer. And then what I'm going to do is I wanted a creamy brush, but because these like grains were a bit darker gold, I thought it would be nice to have like a lighter gold. And so I think I grabbed the Soft and Creamy Brush 1. So let's scroll back here. And these are my creamies. Like, yeah, here. So let me just look. I like to see it on some gold here, but just a nice mixer brush loaded up already with a nice light color of gold. I grabbed a light area from my palette. And I'm just going to do the same thing as kind of just create the base, oops, the base of that, um, of those grains. And I'm going to take up my brush smoothing here. So we're just going to go like this, but I really wanted them, and I'm not going to worry that they're perfect or anything like that, but I wanted them lighter so we get that feeling of, um, what do you call it? Like, not all being the same. So I think it'll be nice. So let's just paint those in there. Oops, that went too hard. Let's hit save. And I like, as you can see, I hand drew these, and I hand drew them like a bit rough because I I wanted it to look a bit hand drawn and not like so vector perfect, what have you. So I really like always adding a hand drawn touch into them, you know, and just a little bit of imperfection, I think, makes it look nice. I don't know, and just not so computery or whatever. But we're just taking that creamy brush, pulling it over there for a nice, to, cover our base here. So let us hit a save. And then we're going to make an accent stroke. So for this one, I want to say, I got this cool, I think it's 41. Yeah, so this is Dry Decorative 41, which is a really fun kind of a calligraphic stroke. And I loaded it up and the color went a little bit wild, but let me show you like right out of the box here. So Dry Decorative 41. So the, calligraphic stroke, I put it at an angle like this and put a little spacing, and let's just zoom in here so we can actually see all the prettiness of it, because really when you get like close up, you can just see how nice these strokes look. But we loaded it up with some metallic gold, and we've got this really fun calligraphic sort of stroke here. So but this was a bit dark, so what I did was I went over to my gold palette and loaded it up with like a lighter area, and then let's just see. I think I'll just like stick with the one that I had already loaded, so it looks like I loaded it somewhere right around here. But I like that, and it was just added, oh, you know what? Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it, but so what I did was I just kind of like waved it over this, but I think it just really added, like, as you can see here, it just made it look like almost like a leaf, but really pretty. And I just went with it. It was kind of not what I was really thinking to do, but I just kind of went like this over all of the lighter ones. And so we're going to go like that and just really added something nice. So I am going to do that. And so that was the main bit of it. And now I'm just going to do this one because it's on its own little layer. So what I'll do is I just drew it here. I'm going to have the layer above it. I'll just grab one of my creamy brushes that I already have saved that I used before. I think what I'll do, because I didn't want, like, I space these out a little bit so they're not like overlapping. Oh, thanks, Rhoda. I'm glad you like it. I think because I have the first creamy brush is a bit darker, so I'm gonna just paint half of it over here on this side, And then I'll take my creamy brush that I loaded up earlier and then just kind of go like this. So that way, yeah, we can just see it, whatever. And then I just added that last brush that I did and just kind of went a little bit like that. So whatevs, it's good enough. So we're getting there. And then the last things, oh no, I had like two more things that I did for this. So I wanted some to kind of go over some of these edges. Like I don't want to see that kind of edge right there necessarily. So what I did was a couple accents. So now above all those clipping mask, those three clipping mask layers for my main bit, um, I'm just gonna make a new, I just made a new, what do you call it? Actually dark accents, drop shadow, center. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna ignore this. So just on top of this, I'm gonna make a brand new layer. And the first thing that I'm going to do is kind of put this stem thing here. So this was a brush that's straight out of my gold play collection. And of course the gold play, if you're a subscriber, you can still get that. So I grabbed the one that was dry decorative 17. So it's just, I actually happen to, I love how perfectly circle it looks like a gold ball. It's just I happen to load it up in my gold palette, like right where there's a little nice like accent, or I think it's like right here to be fair. And so I'm just going to, let's just zoom out just a scotch. So I just wanted to really feel that, make that center. So this is, what is this? What brush did I use? Oh yeah, dry decorative 17. Yeah, I did save it. Okay, good enough. So I'm just gonna go from here and just draw it all the way down. There we go, I'm happy. And I'm just going to add a slight drop shadow. And I have some drop shadows saved on my, in my styles panel. And sometimes when I'm working with gold and I'm doing a drop shadow, I like to do a linear burn because it looks better, a little bit better on the gold and doesn't dull it out, than if it's, what do you call it? A multiply shadow. So we've got that center bit. And then now I think I'll just make a new layer. There's no clipping mask, and I'll still put that like a shadow like that. And then what I'm going to do is just do like I did here and just kind of cover up some of those edges that I didn't like so much with a brush. And it's like an accent brush. I think it's dry decorative 19. So I'm just going to clip through that here. But of course, if you are like not familiar with my gold play brushes, I've already gone I'm going over this fast just to show you like my techniques. But I go over this in massive detail on other, what do you call it? Other live streams. So anyway, I'm just going to go like this. It's already loaded with a gold, so I'm fine with it. And then so that adds just a little bit of dimensionality, and it's got a drop shadow and stuff, and it kind of covers up some of those edges that maybe don't look the best. And when I first did it, I thought I wanted to like make the gold, like desaturate the gold, but finally I like how the gold looks. So, I'm just going to leave it saturated. I used one of my like overlay layer styles. So we're just building this up, and I'm just catching any of those little like edges that I didn't love. So like here, I just didn't love that. So just going to kind of cover it up, or like this. And let's see here. We're almost done with this one. And then we're just going to do a couple more things, and we're flying through it. So of course, then I wanted to add these little hairs on the wheat stock because I thought it would be really nice, and I want them to be part of my brush so that I can make these beautiful little, things here like this. So it's easiest to do it when it's straight. So that's what we're going to do. And so most of this is one brush, which I actually was just, let's see here. I'm going to go above, make a new layer. There we go. This will be where I put all my little thingies here. So I just took this brush, but what I did was I just spaced it out a little bit. I guess I didn't save it. So let's get this brush. All right. So I'm going to take the brush size down a little bit using my left bracket. And it's going to like load up whatever I had loaded last, whatever color, but let's just go here. Okay, that's kind of dark, whatever. But okay, that's pretty good size, but I'm going to space it out now. So I'm just going to space it out until I'm happy with it. Okay. That looks pretty good. All right, so it's small enough, it's delicate. So I want it to really feel delicate. And now we can go back and option click to load up some gold into that brush. And that's good. I could maybe like load a little bit darker. I don't know. Don't want it to be too dark. All right. So sometimes this is a matter of like little trial and error. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to save this one. Hairs. Include the color. So if you guys want to, I'll put that attached, whatever brushes I saved to the demo file. And so like, let's just kind of zoom out, and I'm probably going to make it a little bit different than I did here, but I'm just looking for where I can just kind of draw in a little bit, and I'm gonna pull it out here, and then also like just do some outside of there. So oops, got a little connecty there, kind of wanting it to kind of come off some of these, which will be kind of nice. But we're just going to draw this in, and we're getting just a little subtle bit of gold from that, as dimensionality as well. When you zoom in, you'll see it more. Now when I'm zoomed out, it's like not so apparent, but yeah, and I just kind of don't want to like do too much. All right, so we've got the sides, and then let's put a few of these little bad boys off the top. And just kind of want it to be like not too over perfect, which is never a problem, truly, actually, with me. All right. And then we're going to put some accents and call it a day. Okay, so there we go. Let's hit save. Do not want to, whatever. And then I just put a couple little accents here. So what I did was I grabbed my gold play, and I just looked for like some nice little accent ones. So I liked brush 38, and then I think it was brush 45 straight out of the thing. So I was wanting to make it easy. So let's just grab those brushes. Oh, thank you so much, Saija. Glad you like. And thanks for dropping on. All right, so let's just grab 38, and I'm going to put that on some of them here. So see, we got a nice little gold. I think it's pretty. And yeah. Okay, there we go. We're happy with that. Let's make a new layer. Maybe it's too much, those. Okay, and then let's get number, where is it? 45 is a good one. So just gonna kind of add that to some of those ones there, like so. Anyway, it's all right. Just like it's not perfect or anything. Maybe just being a little crazy, add something there. Okay. Trying to get a little bit of balance here. Oh my gosh, sometimes my brain is like really fried by the end of the day. But today was a really nice day here in Bulgaria. I'm in Plovdiv, and it's 20 degrees today, which is insane. I mean Celsius. It's like, what is it, January? Should not be 20 degrees. Really warm. Okay, let me save this. So now I've got all of these in a group, and then we are good. We're happy with it. Looking good. Everything's nice. And now we're doing one of my favorite hacks, which is, I'm gonna Option or Alt, drag that group to make a new group. Going to merge it. Merge group. So like now we've got it as a graphic here. Now, of course, I could drop this even into my library, but I could just select all and cut. I'm going to bounce over here into Illustrator, and we're going to turn this into an art brush. Oh my gosh, over 70 degrees, and you have 6 inches of snow. Oh my goodness, Rhoda. And I'm totally like, all right, Rhoda, I'm like blanking. Are you up in Wisconsin? You have to like remind me. My brain is absolutely fried at this point. Um, but yeah, it's crazy. It's really nuts. I mean, for being like yes, okay, I thought so. I was like, oh, I'm like, I was just having a brain fart there. Um, yeah, and Wisconsin is where I was born, by the way, West Bend. Woo woo. Come from a family of cheeseheads. So I just pasted this in here, and the thing is it's already embedded, which is good. And I just turned it like this, and to create my brush. So actually, when I did create my brush, though, when I'm going to do it this time, I'm going to create it the opposite way around. Vicky, you're in Wisconsin too, and have had no snow in quite a while, only rain. Oh, that's depressing though. I would prefer to have snow than than rain for sure in winter. I think it's nice, but yeah, what can you do? Oh, but what I was gonna show you guys is that like with this, when I put it this way, if I draw, it's gonna draw like when I dragged it in, I go like this in the tail. So this is going to be wait. Oh, that is good. I guess I liked it. But actually whenever I was actually using this brush, I find that I think I will like it to be reversed. So if I go like this, I'm going to just take this image. We're fine like this. And this is only the image, copied and paste. We don't have to rasterize it or anything like that. So we just drag it into the brush panel, and we're just going to click Art Brush. I'm going to click OK. Okay, high res. Yeah, we know. Okay. Although maybe could be that, did I make it smaller? Don't know if I made it smaller. It could be that I'm squaw out of, okay. I think it's because I think right now, I think I had my computer like slightly maxed out on the thing. But basically, or about maxed out on I got too many processes going on right now. But you just drag it in the panel here. I can just resize it to a smaller size actually. So let's just take it down. And I don't know if I have to like actually, if it still goes art brush. Okay, here we go. So you just drag it into that brush panel, and then I made two brushes so that I had, what do you call it, an option. So I made one that was scaled proportionally and one that stretches to fit the stroke length. So, you know, you just click that and click OK, and you'll have a new brush. But I already have these brushes here, so I'm just going to work with them. And I wonder if I could probably turn them the direction around here. Okay. So actually I don't need to flip my thing even. I can just change the direction here. So I'm going to click OK. Okay, leave strokes. And double click, change the direction. Okay, leave strokes. Okay, so that gives me two new ones. So basically with these brushes here, so I got this brush. So now when we do it, that we can use that motif that we've just made, and we can just make it in any direction, and it looks so great, and we've got all that things going. Oh my God, Vicky, mud anywhere. Oh, your garage cats. You got some feral cats here. You're watching. But yeah, this I love to just when I'm doing something like this to turn it into an art brush, and then I don't have to like redraw it so many times. You know, so what you can do is you can use this as an asset and go like this, and you can turn it to a background, and you can make it like on the sides, or you know, whatever. And so you don't have to like think about, you know, you wouldn't have to just redraw it all the time. So we're just all about that technology there. Oh, feral kitties, love that. That's so nice though. Oh, here in Plovdiv, there is tons of cats everywhere. It's like a Eastern Europe thing. There's usually a lot of cats, a lot of kitties. Um, I saw one today. I took a picture of it. It was really cute, but it was like sunning itself in the nice sun. So just going to show you guys really quick the differences of, I have one that's like stretching to fit between the stroke, and then one that will, like, what am I doing here? That, what is this one? Scale proportionately. So, you know, you can just see, but which one suits your thing here. Because, okay, so this one is this one that stretches. This one is scaled proportionately. I usually tend to do the ones that are like stretch between the strokes. Personally, I think it sometimes usually looks nicer stretch to fit stroke length. Obviously, though, if like, say you're doing like a really short one, do not undo everything. Okay, cut. So if I did like a really short one, it's gonna look terrible. So, but if I'm doing it in a, you know, whatever sort of way, then it'll be okay. So, that's just the difference. But if I did a really short one like this, and I clicked on the one, the art brush that said, why is it doing that? Why does it not love me? If I clicked on this brush, it will scale it to fit that stroke length, you know, so it's just two different ways you can do it or whatever. And okay, so we've got that gorgeousness here as a brush, which is making our lives easier. And what is it? There we go. All right. So what I did was, yeah, all right. So let's pop over here. So I made this, and we're getting quite close to the end, actually. Shannon, yeah, oh, yeah, that it's not so expensive. Well, to be fair, yeah, like, I know what you mean. That's like annoying because this is the only, like, one of the only things that I use Illustrator for is the image brushes. But maybe there's another program that you can have like cheaper that, you know, you could do the same thing to turn an illustration into an art brush, because it's a raster base. Even though it's an Illustrator, it's a raster based brush. Although actually, you know, what you could do is just use the, if you don't have Illustrator, I'm showing this in Illustrator, but if you don't have Illustrator, you could always take this, take your thing here and, oh, for the love, what you could do is use the Puppet Warp. So you could do that. It's just, I like to use Illustrator because I have it. Let's see here. What was I going to do here? cut pixels. Okay, there we go. So let's deselect. So, you know, so basically you could do the same sort of thing, but then just go to like edit, puppet warp. And I'm not the best at puppet warp here, but you know, put a couple, I just saw like a little mini tutorial about puppet warp, and click OK. And then you can, puppet warp, but then you can like move it and stuff, you know, so like that, or, you know, so, you know, it's just, and I'm sure that there's, but like, you can make puppet warp a little bit nicer, but okay, apply. But you could do that. And I don't know why the wheat was not, the other part of the wheat was not attached to it. Anyway, but you could do that. So that's just a little option there for you. Okay, there we go. I'm like, what did it do? Save. All right, so we're back. So, okay, went to make my monogram. So let us just pull back my layers just a little bit. I just have there's really not that many brush strokes, to be fair. So what we did is I wanted to make an L because I'm like, it's the easiest thing to make. So I just grabbed one of my creamy brushes and made a little L here. I don't even know if I used one of my creamy brushes that I had just already taken, but maybe I'll just do creamy 3 from that gold play collection. So I can just go back over to my palette, option click, load up some gold in there, you know. Okay, so just made a nice little beautiful L like that. I was just like, I'm gonna make an L because it's easy. And so that's what I did. So then the same thing is you just, you know, select all, cut, and then paste it over here into Illustrator. So that's what I did. And this is the size that it was. And then I just, okay, let's, oh, 4, okay, hang on. Because yeah, because we're actually kind of going through this fast. So it's good. I'm gonna just got a few more brush strokes and we're gonna be done. And then, you know, you can have the ideas and stuff. So I just took this and let's see what size these brushes are. Okay, so this is 0.37. So I'm just going to select this. I could, you know, obviously I could do by trial and error, but I'm just going to take my brush and make something like this. So what I did, and here I did it along 3 parts of my my L. So I just took this brush with that, you know, played around till I got it right. That's pretty good. It's not perfect, but whatever. And, you know, and if you don't get it right the first time, just, or if it doesn't look great, you know, just keep playing until you get it. And that's all that I did. Like so. Just going over that. Oops, wrong way. Wrong way. Until it's like, you know, goes a way that you like. Rhoda, you haven't tried this in Infinity? She uses Illustrator. Yeah, as a vector and raster base. Interesting. Could be something to look into for the people that are, you know, that I understand. You know, sometimes if you have just the Photoshop subscription, especially if you don't use it very much, you don't want to pay for, you know, another program or whatever. So that's good to know. So basically what I did was I just, you know, copied this and then I just paste them right into Photoshop, and I always make sure that I do it as a smart object. So, and then I'll just replace it on my thing, and that's how I did it. But I'm gonna pop back the ones that I had already done before. Monogram. Tell me I didn't delete them. No. Okay, so what I decided to do was try to have an editing eye. So I took off I took off the wheat that goes off this side because I thought that this would be enough. And so let's just save this bad boy. And what I did was I used and I adjusted it, one of my dimensional layer styles from this collection, which just adds a little bit of bevel and a little bit of drop shadow to those wheat things. But look how nice those little, like if we, go in here, those look so nice, and that would be a real pain in the butt to try to do like freehand, and how that like goes, just those just delicate little things, go really lovely. So that's the base of it, and let's hit save. And then I just wanted to do some accents. So then I was like, okay, I'll just like layer up a little brush strokes and have some fun with it. So let's see what I did here. Okay, that one I did. I'm going to save that. And I didn't put anything on there. Let's delete that layer. I'm trying to keep my, yeah, things neat and tidy. So I grabbed this brush here. I thought it was a cool brush. It's a nice accent one, but you can just like layer up whatever brush strokes you dig. I think this was Dry Decorative Brush 7. And let's just zoom out here a little bit. And of course I put just a little bit of drop shadow, and I kind of wanted that to feel like the stem of those wheat motifs. So let's see here. Let's go find that brush. Dry Decorative 7. And I think I resampled it here. So let's just do this one here. All right. So let's see how, I think I'm going to right bracket to make that one just a little bit bigger. And that looks good even just like that. It just sampled the last color that I selected, but it's pretty nice, so I'm going to go with it. So I'm just going to go along the middle. Oh, and I got to turn up my brush smoothing up here because I do not have a steady hand. And I'm going to just go up the center here like this. And now I'm going to stop because this needs to be behind, like this is following the L. So I'm just gonna go here and grab my eraser and just erase this part here. So there we go, easy peasy. And then I'm gonna get my mixer brush there. Grab the mixer brush again, which is the brush. And then I'm just gonna go down the center. I need to take my brush smoothing up here. We are not steady of hand tonight. Okay. Okay, that did not. I think I'm going to have to redraw that one. Undo. We're not, we need to do this like in one stroke here. So it's all connected. There we go. That looks pretty. And then I'll just do it like over here too. Oh, no. There we go. So we're getting that like lovely sort of layered sort of gold brushes effect or whatever. And then, did I put anything on top? Oh, let's see here. And the only other thing that I did was I just went like had a little bit of fun with, what did I do? Oh no, that's the other one. So I just added like a little bit, you could have added something else, but I added just a little bit of that calligraphic brush here. So like you can see that here. I don't really know if it makes sense or anything, but I just liked it. So let's just show that here. So I just grabbed the, where is the calligraphic brush? 41. Yeah. And so I just had a little bit of fun. And so I just drew like a little stroke here, like so, and then down here, I don't know. Here's the one I drew. I'm going to stick with that. I'm like, I did it once, so I can't worry about it if it's perfect again. I'm like, meh. And then the last thing that I did was I just took, I just wanted to like put something on those, like on the ends there. And I don't know if I like love this, but I just grabbed that, I think it's one of the ones. 35. No, I think maybe I'll do like brush 35 would be better. That one looks a little bit too light there. I don't know. Just like a little something. I could put something else, but you know, that's 35. Maybe it was, I just wanted something on the tips there. Oh, maybe I'll leave it with that. No, it's I know what brush that is. It is this, oh, 17. That's it. I thought I saved that. Oh yeah, there it is. Derp. Okay, so yeah, and is this one? Oh, and I just put a little bit of drop shadow on it. So that is brush 17, which is that little like one that looks like little gold balls, which I thought was cool. So I just put a little end cap there, whatever. And so it looks, I think it looks quite, you know, like fancy, a little bit complicated. But really, you know, we let the brushes do all the work, the brushes that I made, and it was not so bad. And then, of course, you can, you know, do something on the side. So I'm thinking I might like, I need to like some of these, what do you call it? The demos that I do. I'm working, one of my other project is to put it up, make like ready to use graphics more and stuff, or like make a whole alphabet with this or something, or do some more things. So that was pretty much it. And what are we? Oh, we're finishing at 22, 10:22. But I will have the starter file, all my demo files, and then whatever brushes I saved over here. I'll load them up into a zip file for my subscribers, my BN subscribers. And don't forget, you can subscribe for 10 bucks a month, cancel anytime, get my whole library of resources, loads of stuff. So that's cool. And what else? I feel like sometimes I'm watching some of these people that are doing like their live streams, and they're drawing things, you know, for like 2-3 hours, and they're talking about like, I don't know, more chit chatter, more like whatever stuff. But I feel like sometimes when I'm doing these, I'm like, I don't know, I'm really into it. So I don't know if I should try to do more chit chat or whatever. But I try to sneak it in there whenever I can. But I tend to be very focused on what I'm doing. But also I think I do like pretty intense short, you know, like to the point ones, tutorials or whatever. You know, it's not like I'm just everything is just kind of, I try to do the meta clip. Sherry, you know what? Like honestly, I've printed some of my gold styles, and I've printed like something like this, and honestly, I think they look great. I had done some tests with like Printful, which is a print on demand one, and I mean, obviously it's not metallic, but more or less what it looks like on your screen is what it's going to look like, and it just is, the quality is up to them, you know. But had some, I was really surprised. I did even some like on fabric, or on, I did a similar kind of gold one a long time ago, a test print on like the pillow material, on the tote bag sublimation material, and I was super happy with the stuff. If you ever want to see, like, I always work in RGB, but I go to like proof colors. And so here's probably what it's going to look like on, so it is a little bit different, but if you click on proof colors, then that's going to, what it's going to probably look like printed. So you might want to like, you can adjust and try to make it more, a little bit more. It takes the gold down just a touch. Here's a view, print colors off. So that's like that. That's probably how it would print, but I still think it's really lovely. And the print capabilities of the print on demand, most of the print on demand stuff was good. The detail, I mean, the detail is good, but it just depends on, like, you wouldn't want to put this like, you would probably want to make less detail if you're doing it, say, on a mug or something like this, and probably the I like you could still make these, something inspired by this, but I wouldn't do like, say for example, maybe this L with all that detail there, like on a mug. I would say the mugs are the least. They're, I don't know. I had some decent mugs, but or well, actually, not mugs, just anything. If you just something like this would need to be a bit because they have a lot of detail in there. That would need to be on something, maybe like a bit bigger. So, um, that's something to keep in mind. If you know it's going to be small, then maybe it would just be like if you take just like this, it would be fine. But if you want to get all those details of this, you would probably need to have it big enough or whatever. Oh, hey, Linda. Oh, new telephoto lens. That sounds awesome. I wish I could like um well, I just don't have the time to get back into photography and stuff. I took it in university, but I'm just using my phones. That's about all I can do right now. Um, yeah, yeah. So Sherry, because I think you do the classes, you do some classes or something. So yeah, like it's definitely if you're doing something super intricate, you need the space to see it for sure. So you always kind of want to keep in mind that final like the what you're going to be putting it on, because if you're putting it on something like this, it's going to be like, oh, okay, it's going to have to be really quick print quality. But yeah, I was really happy with all my printing samples, so I can't complain. And yeah, so that's about it. So I'm going to get off and go to bed soon, and I'll load up these files. So hopefully, I think I'll load them up straight away so that it's available for subscribers, and it just my video has to process before it'll be there. So thanks so much for everybody for tuning in. I'm really happy to see you guys and to see all the familiar names and everything. And then tomorrow is Friday, and I'm thinking I will be online. I'll try to prepare beforehand, but I'm thinking it'll be on the maybe same time-ish or same time ish or whatever. Oh, thank you so much, Shannon. I'm so glad you liked. And yeah, I had fun with this. It's kind of bouncing around in my head, so whatever. But glad I got to catch you. And sorry that this week has been non-existent on my streaming, and I just bounced on here with no what do you call it? No oh gosh, I didn't put it on my calendar ahead of time. So anyway, all right, guys, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks a lot.